Hi everyone, welcome to Legal Talks by Desi Kanoon. I am Suyash and today I will talk about the case of Shripati Singh, since deceased, through his son Gaurav Singh versus State of Jharkhand and another. Wherein the Honorable Supreme Court discussed whether a check issued towards security attracts the provisions of Section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act or not. Basically, Section 138 of the NI Act provides for the stipulations to be followed in case there is a dishonor of a check that has been issued for the discharge of a legally enforceable debt or other such liability. In the present case, the court discussed the status of a check that has been issued as a security to secure a payment. In order to understand whether a check issued towards security can attract the provisions of Section 138 of the NI Act or not, let us understand the pertinent observations by the court. Firstly, the court noted that a check issued as security pursuant to a financial transaction cannot be considered as a worthless piece of paper under every circumstance. Security in its true sense is the state of being safe, and the security given for a loan is something given as a pledge of payment. It is given, deposited, or pledged to make certain the fulfillment of an obligation to which the parties to the transaction are bound. Secondly, the court further clarified that there cannot be a hard and fast rule that a check which is issued as security can never be presented by the drawee of the check. If such is the understanding, a check would also be reduced to an on-demand promissory note, and in all circumstances, it would only be a civil litigation to recover the amount, which is not the intention of the statute. Thirdly, the court also stated that a check issued as security is an arrangement between the parties to a transaction, indicating that the security is given only for ensuring the payment in case the borrower fails to make such payment on time in terms of the arrangement arrived at between the parties. In case of such an event, the holder of the check or the drawee is free to elect any proceedings, whether civil or criminal or under the NI Act, to recover the concerned amount. Fourthly, the court cited the case of Sampelli Satyanarayan Rao versus Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited to explain the meaning of legally enforceable debt as mentioned in Section 138 of the NI Act. According to the court, whether a post-dated check is for discharge of debt or liability depends on the nature of the transaction. If on the date of the check, liability or debt exists, or the amount has become legally recoverable, the section is attracted and not otherwise. And lastly, upon cumulative consideration of the legal position just discussed, the court held that when a check is issued as security to secure a payment and such payment is not made on designated time, then the check which is issued as security would mature for presentation and the drawee of the check would be entitled to present the same. On such presentation, if the same is dishonored, the consequences contemplated under Section 138 and the other provisions of the NI Act would flow. Therefore, it is to be understood that there is no bar under Section 138 to present a check that has been issued for security purposes, provided that the borrower fails to make the payment of the borrowed amount on time. Those were the observations by the court. So what are my concluding remarks? Section 138 of the NI Act was enacted for speedy disposal of financial disputes that arise out of negotiable instruments issued by a party. The whole purpose of negotiable instruments is to provide fluidity and certainty in payments. I concur with the reasoning of the court that there cannot be a hard and fast rule with respect to the checks issued as security that the same cannot be presented under any circumstances. If such were the intention of the legislature, it would have been reflected in the text of the NI Act, either expressly or by way of necessary implication. Absence of the same clearly signifies that such checks issued as security are not worthless pieces of paper and can be encashed when the due date for payment has expired. Hence, I hope you enjoyed listening to the show. Thank you for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe us. And if you have any comments, please make them in the comments section. See you next time. Till then, stay tuned.